Hey guys, Louis here. Welcome back to Acorn Hill and welcome back to my channel. I am recording this on a Saturday evening and it is raining. We have a thunderstorm warning in our area, but I thought the lighting was good. We don't have any harsh sun right now to deal with. Really just showcase to you how our hydrangeas are looking at the moment. These are 4 Limelight hydrangeas that I planted and enclosed within this DIY enclosure, New England style garden enclosure that I built during the pandemic. It's about 2 years now, and it's really doing its work, giving us this overflowing mess of blooms. There's probably more than 100 blooms just in this application alone, but it is at its peak and at its best at the moment. Hydrangeas, limelights are ones that I really plant and care for hard here in the garden. It is a serious, hard-working, essential ones and a stalwart in our garden. What I did here was, and I'll show you some clips of the late winter pruning that I did. Okay guys, I am interrupting the usual flow of this video. I wanted to show you what it looked like during late winter of 2022. This video was taken back in February, and as you can tell, the garden is bare, and the patch, the enclosure where these hydrangeas are located, this is what it looks like during late winter. All the dead leaves are gone. They've fallen, they're down either below this patch, and all's left are all these dead flowers and blooms that I've allowed to remain. The reason for that is I don't want to prune them too quickly. I allowed these new buds, you can see the new leaf buds forming, until I see new healthy green buds coming up. This is the signal for me to start taking off these dead blooms. The dead blooms that are remaining on the tips of these branches, you see how long they are, they remain on the branches so that we don't allow the cold to really seep into the branches. Hydrangeas are very foamy and they're very spongy on the inside. Some of them have snapped off, but I want to keep them on so that cold and freeze won't go into the plant and harm the plant. But today's the perfect day for us to start late winter or February, to start shaping, pruning, deadheading, removing any dead or diseased branch. And this is the perfect time to get the shape of this plant, start forming the actual skeleton, the basic framework that will allow for the new branches to grow, so that this will again form even longer branches if we choose to. The 4 bushes that you see within the enclosure is a 3-year-old set of bushes that every year it seems to be growing more and more vigorously as it gets to be trained and pruned religiously every late winter. As many of you who have followed me and know me, I consider myself a serious hydrangea grower, and by and large, these types of hydrangeas, these limelights, are the best to grow in full sun, out in the middle of this garden in full sun here in North Carolina, and they seem to not mind the heat, the humidity, and the oppressive sunshine, as long as we provide them with a good, deep watering schedule. Alright, so let's go to the pruning and shaping itself. The first thing that I do is I step back and I look at the plant to see the actual shape of where it left off last growing season. This is the chance for me to determine branches that I need to either take away, completely prune, or cut from the base of the plant. I follow the 3 Ds of pruning. Anything that's damaged, dead, or diseased, all these branches are not included and will be taken away to prepare for the next growing season. After removing the damaged, dead, and diseased branches of the plant, and when I feel like I'm comfortable with the shape and the actual size of the plant, then I go into a more detailed type of pruning that I will show you in the next segment. At this finer detail of pruning, I don't go nilly-dilly. There is a process that I follow. As you can see here on this shot, you can clearly look at all those new buds that are forming. I determine a segment of the branch, and anything above a set of new leaves, about ½ an inch, that is where I start pruning and clipping. Those 2 leaf nodes are going to form not only the new leaves, but also 2 new branchlets. Over the years, I've found out that pruning is not only essential, pruning is something that plants definitely needs. It also heralds for me the time of the growing season. I am on the beginning stages, and I just look forward to preparing and using this as the insurance that these plants, these hydrangeas, are going to go, bloom, and really thrive 8 to 10 months of growing season. The late winter pruning is important in order for us to have long stems that will produce at the end of each stem all these blooms. And as you can tell, the blooms are very compact. On this side, facing the new garden beds that I built, on this side they're whiter, but at the tip of the bloom you can see some of the green. Most of them have that green tip that we really like. They're very compact. Each big head is made up of little florets. This belongs in the arborescens type, meaning it's a smooth hydrangea. The leaves don't have much of the deep wrinkling compared to a macrophylla. It's looking at its best at the moment. On the other side, for some reason, now this faces the eastern side, by the way, but if I come around, you can see some of the ones that are just about to turn white. Most of them are green right now, and the green coloration on it and the transitioning into white is just one of those summer gardening type things that we like looking through our kitchen window. They do transform fairly regularly and fairly evenly as the weeks come on. So looking at this, we still have about 3 weeks to a full month of blooms on this big patch, and this is how they look. There's a before and after. I will show you some before and after shots from when we first planted and when I first built the enclosure. Beside the hydrangeas, I have left this part on the right side of the hydrangea patch. I've left this part filled with wild grass. Wild grass, when I say wild grass, this is really filled with weeds. I've allowed it to overgrow as an experiment because I wanted this to be my wildflower mini meadow. It's not a meadow, but you get the point. And throughout that patch, it is really surprising how many insects, pollinators and non-pollinators alike, even a bird started building a nest just within that patch alone. So I thought this year I'd leave this alone and leave my lawn to overgrow, but just the same, all looks good. Looking at this patch throughout the rain makes it look really interesting. And on the shot, I think that the color of the hydrangea and the bush really became more pronounced, the white and the green. So just a quick video and update to show you what's going on in the garden. Thanks again, all you subscribers and dear friends of the channel, every single one of you. I truly appreciate you joining me and just being curious as to what's happening, what I'm growing, what projects I'm getting into, and how I can encourage you guys to go into gardening and get deeply immersed in green space and anything that grows. I certainly have benefited a lot since the pandemic. I became also more productive at work for some reason. There's no study to prove that, but for me, it just brings me a different level of satisfaction when I see all these things growing. And every single one of these blooms, I know, was the product of my hard work. And so, not bragging, I'm just letting you guys know, highly encouraging you that it can be done, given a little time, given a little patch of green, a little patch of dirt. It can be done, guys, if and when you're interested. And so, again, thank you for subscribing. Kindly share, like, and subscribe to our channel for more gardening ideas that we will be posting. Again, this is Louie. Thanks again for your time, and we'll see you back soon on the next video here on my channel, here on Acorn Hill. Bye-bye for now.